Hello, everyone. Happy National Poetry Month. It started in the middle of the week, so it's a little weird. So I am not prepared, but I am. It's like I've read a few books that I'm going to review, but I haven't gotten my notes together or my poems together for them. It'll get there. And speaking of poetry, since it is National Poetry Month and I released this 2 years ago on Poetry Month, yeah, 2 years ago, I need to write another book. What if I wrote the world poems inspired by music? If you want to support me this poetry month, you know what to do. It's in the bio. It's linked in my link tree. It's every video. It's there. So today we have two books to talk about. Spin a Soft Black Song by Nikki Giovanni with illustrations by George Martins. And then The Sun is So Quiet, once again by Nikki Giovanni. Illustrations by Ashley Bryant. And these are both children's poetry books. Very different, as you can see. You know, style wise, obviously, probably subject matter wise. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna start off with The Sun is So Quiet. I've never done a two-parter, and I plan to do another one because I did review the Crank series last year, or like the first book, and I plan on reading the other two and reviewing the whole series. Stay tuned for that. Hopefully, I dedicate myself to it. So we're gonna start off with this one. Of course, it's poetry. It's National Poetry Month. So I'm gonna go over the biographies for Nikki Giovanni and Ashley Bryant. Brian. Did I put Bryant? I definitely put Bryant in my notes. There's no T in there. All right, so for poet Nikki Giovanni, she was born in Knoxville, Tennessee on June 7th, 1943, and grew up in Cincinnati, Ohio. She graduated with a degree in history from Fisk University. A world-renowned poet and one of the foremost authors of the Black arts movement. Her notable books and poetry are Black Judgment from 1968, Those Who Ride the Night Winds, 1983, which were influenced by her participation in the Black arts movement and the Black Power movement in the 1960s. Um, she's published numerous collections of poetry from her first self-published volume, Black Feeling, Black Talk, 1968. I haven't read that. To the best to New York Times bestseller, Bicycles, Love Poems 2009. I have that book. I'm pretty sure Love Poems. I might have reviewed it. I don't remember it saying Bicycles. So I gotta double check if I have that one. I did not realize how long this biography is. We're gonna skip around. Okay, so she has published more than 2,000. That'd be incredible. 2 dozen volumes of poetry, essays, edited anthologies, and 11 illustrated children's books, including Rosa, an award-winning biography of Rosa Parks. I gotta listen to that. And then her most recent publications, Make Me Rain, Poems and Prose from 2020, which I reviewed last year. She's had numerous awards. I can't talk today, y'all. Including 2022's Ruth Lilly Poetry Prize, the inaugural Rosa L. Parks Women of Courage Award. She's won Dublin, 7-time recipient of the NAACP Image Award. Her autobiography, Gemini, was a finalist for the 1973 National Book Award. In 2004, her album, The Nikki Giovanni Poetry Collection, was a Grammy finalist for Best Spoken Word Album. So I gotta find that going on. And then she has passed away. I don't know why I don't have that in this biography, but maybe it came out before that happened. She has taught in many universities, including Rutgers, Ohio State, Queens College City, University of New York. She was on faculty at Virginia Tech from 1987 to 2022, where she was a university distinguished professor. And then let me see when she passed away. See if the internet is going to be nice to me today. Sometimes it does. I'm pretty sure it was 2012. Anyway. Um, oh no, she passed away in December 9th, 2024. That's pretty recent. I don't know why I thought it was 2012. I think I was looking, I've been reading, outside of reading poetry, I've been listening to Maya Angelou's biographies, and I think I confused the dates. But yeah, that's when she passed away. So that's her. And then let's talk about Ashley Bryan. Well, she also passed away. Dang. Um, so she was born July 13th, 1923 to February 4th, 2022. So she passed away 2 years before Nikki Giovanni. She was an American writer and illustrator of children's books. Most of her subjects are from the African American experience. Um, oh, I forgot. I keep saying she. Ashley is a he. I keep forgetting that's a unisex name. He was a U.S. nominee for the Hans Christian Andersen Award in 2006, and he won the Children's Literature Legacy Award for his contribution to American children's literature in 2009. His picture book Freedom Over Me was shortlisted for the 2016 Kirkus Prize and received a Newbery honor. All right, so that's about them both. This book was released October 15th, 1996. Oh, synopsis just says read the back of the book. Quiet and noisy, wintry, and sometimes sunny, these poems are bound to make you smile. Nikki Giovanni describes riding rainbows, licking chocolatey fingers, snuggling under covers, and many other wonderful childhood moments. Ashley Bryan's warmest and most colorful illustrations make each page look like a bright, beaming smile. Together, they create a wonderful first collection of poems. And then they have some other books by Nikki Giovanni. Rosa, they have, and Lincoln and Douglas. An American Friendship. I didn't even know they were friends, so that would be something I could look up. So, to talk about my pros and my cons and my overall opinion. So of course the poetry is great, and I'm gonna only read maybe like one or two because then I'm also gonna be reading them throughout the week for Poetry Month. So I'm gonna spend this whole rest of this week writing poems and reading poems from both of these books on TikTok and on Shorts here. So you're gonna hear more. So I probably will only do like one or two. But then I might do repeats because I might do them because I've only written two poems for Poetry Month so far. But of course, the poetry is the best part. I love Nikki Giovanni; she's great. The artwork. So let me show you some art. So this is for the poem Strawberry Patch, and it's so beautiful. It's really great. It's like both of the illustrations for both books are really great, but they're like different vibes. This is the chocolate poem. So it's like this one is like a bright, fun vibe, but they're still really great illustrations. And then I love the representation because you get all kinds of kids. So like on this poem, for example, the stars, you can see all different kinds of kids. And then there's a poem about little boys being snowflakes. Let me see if I can find it. There are a lot of different little boys like represented. And it's basically saying, how they're all different anyway. Oh yeah, here they go. Oh yeah. So you got white, black, Asian? Yes. Redhead. He might be Hispanic. Can't really tell. What do y'all think? Hope that's in focus. Um, so yeah, it's like a good representation in this book. Um, and it's really short. It's like 60. No, it's actually like 30 pages. 31. So good, quick read. And I have no cons. I feel like this is gonna be like I think it's not gonna be any cons for any of these. Spoiler alert for either one. But of course, I love the poem since Nikki Giovanni is one of my favorite poets. Is my favorite poet of all time. I think the poems were sweet and some were thought provoking. I think any child would love this book, and adults too. Ashley Bryant, I put the T again. Bryant's illustrations are so beautiful. They are bright and bold and very catching, eye catching. They show there are so many representations of different races and genders of children. Illustrations too. I love everything about this book. Kind of an easy 10 out of 10. And I hope you can't hear anything upstairs. So, the poem that I'm going to read today is called Covers. Um, I can get to it. And it's really beautiful. So, this is the first page and the second page. So last year I took pictures of the poems and then put my poem next to it. I don't know if it's gonna work for this. So I'm just gonna be reading them this week. So here's covers. Glass covers windows to keep the cold away. Clouds cover the sky to make a rainy day. Nighttime covers all things that creep. Blankets cover me when I'm asleep. That's so cute. And you see a little boy. We're gonna go with a little boy. I know sometimes little girls have short hair. I'm gonna go with that. And it's just so lovely. So I wrote a poem called Covers too. Your love covers me to keep the blues away. Your arm covers my shoulder. Your arm covers my shoulder with your jacket to keep me warm. Your kisses cover my face to let me know you want me. The ring you gave me to cover my finger lets me know you love me. Which yeah, if he likes it, put a ring on it. All the ladies out there. All right. So that is The Sun is So Quiet. And I'm going to share more throughout the week, but it's a really lovely book. I don't think I'm going to write to this poem, so I'll read it. I've already written to this poem because I think it was in a different book of hers. Now I got to find it. I just passed it. I'm going to read another one. It's called Winter Poem because I did at least for Black History Month last year, so I probably won't, redo it. But here it goes. Winter Poem. Once a snowflake fell on my brow, and I loved it so much, and I kissed it, and it was happy and called its cousins and brothers, and a web of snow engulfed me. Then I reached to love them all. I squeezed them, and they became spring rain. I stood perfectly still and was a flower. And then this artwork is really pretty. So that's the two poems from this book. And then we're going to go to Spin a Soft Black Song. So I'm going to just read the biography for George Martin since I've already read Nikki Giovanni's. He was born in New Bedford, and a graduate of New Bedford school system. I think that's in New Hampshire. Uh, George Martins went on to study at Temple University and the Art Institute of Boston, for ultimately working for more than 20 years as a civilian graphic artist at Fort Devens. Um, and then I have a link here. It would not let me copy and paste, but this is from southcoastaltoday.com, and it's basically his mom talking about his life. So I'll link that down below too. After a long illness in 1990, George Martins returned to New Bedford in order to live out the remaining months of his life and to reconnect with the city he felt most comfortable. And he talked about his art and everything in that article as well. So I'll link that. He was released April 1st, 1987. Once again, I'm just going to read the back of the book. Nikki Giovanni's poems for children, like her adult works, exhibit a combination of casual energy and sudden wit. No cheek-pincing auntie, she explores the contours of childhood with honest affection, sidestepping both nostalgia and condemn. I think it's like when you're, gosh, Lee, like when you're consent. How do you say it? I'm not sure how to say it, y'all. I'm gonna like when you're condescending. But yeah, but basically, this poetry book is about Black childhood. Forgot it was just reviews on the back of the book. It was actual thing, but yeah, that's pretty much sums it up. And it's all of the same prose, basically. The poetry, the art, the representation, and I just love the artwork. Let's look at the artwork. Look at that one. And this one's very different. It's all black and white, but it's still very nice. So it's like different vibes, you know. Oh, and then this one. Oh, I should read this one. This is George. He made it for himself. Um, Let me go over my oral opinion, and I'll read the George one, and then I'll read the one that I wrote too. So, first learned of this book in a well-read Black Girls, which I also reviewed during Black History Month this year. So I had to read it. I had to get it. It is so sweet and empowering for Black children. They are given a voice and representation. I love the poems because Nikki Giovanni, like I said, is my favorite poet of all time. So I knew these would be good. LOL. I also love the artwork by George Martins, which I just showed you some. Very detailed, but still simple, and was a great addition to the poems. I would definitely recommend this book for both kids and adults, especially Black people in general. Once again, 10 out of 10. I mean, it's Nikki Giovanni. It's great artwork. It's great representation. What more do you want? All right, so I'm going to read this poem before I read the one that I wrote to. So it's called George. And that's him. The Jackson Five beamed, stopped to George, who, sitting on the stoop and drawing the faces, said, said, the love I save is wasted. That's interesting. It does like he's drawing little five faces. I love that he's like self-inserted, and that Nikki Giovanni, wrote him a poem. Okay, so let's go for the poem I wrote to, and I kind of modernized it. What page is it on? 25. Put this in my notes so I could just go right back to it. So the poem is called Two Friends. Lydia and Shirley have two pierced ears and two bare ones, five pigtails, two pairs of sneakers, two barrettes, two smiles, one necklace, one bracelet, lots of stripes, and one good friendship. And there they are. That's so cute. So I decided to modernize it, for the modern gal. So it's called Two Homegirls, you know. And I try to give them updated. I don't know how updated these are going to be. Diamond and Jackie have four pierced ears, no bare ones, 10 bundles of long bust downs, two pairs of high heels, two crystal hairpins, two smiles, one blinged out necklace, one diamond studded Rolex, lots of glitter, and one good friendship. Like a little club friends. I thought that'd be cute. So, yeah. So, those are The Sun is So Quiet and Spin a Soft Black Song. Which one do you think you would like more? And of course, throughout the whole week, I'm going to be reading more out of both books. So if you want to hear more, you're going to hear more because I was like, I'll just read a few because I'm going to be talking about them all week anyway. But yeah, have you read either one of these books? Have you read any other of Nikki Giovanni's poetry books or kids poetry books? That's children's poetry books. It says she had at least 11, I think. I read the biography when I skimmed through it. So I would like to read more. And then also her essays. And I didn't know she had her own biography that she did. So I would love to read that as well. Let me know what you think. Let me know in the comments. Oh, also in the well-read Black Girl book, one woman said that she had grown up with this book. So were you given this book as a child? Spin a Soft Black Song. Were you given this book as a child? Let me know what you think of the books. And I will see you all